hey, ha, hey. I do the when no one but how do you go boogie the boogie the beat? We're close in again.
I forgot my buttons weren't done up properly.
Oh no!
It's very embarrassing.
Right,
for me.
let me bring it up so we can get the comments on here as well, and I can see what you are saying to us. Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome back. Yay! It's week 2 of. I'm coming this way. Woo! Of. That way! Ruby and Finn's theatre chat show. As always, we are your hosts, Ruby
And Fynn.
Yay! A quick audio description. Hello, I am Ruby. I have long brown hair. I am a white 24-year-old female, and I am wearing a white shirt with some brown buttons down the front. I am the artistic director of Animate Theatre Company, which is a company for adults with cognitive and physical disabilities, and I am also a disability practitioner and a disabled theatre maker here in Plymouth.
Hello everyone. I'm Fynn. I am a white person with I was going to say long brown hair, but that's not really fair compared to you. Long-ish brown hair, got a little bit of stubble. I'm wearing a blue shirt with some floral design. I think it looks quite dark on this. I think that's everything to describe me. I am lead practitioner with Animate. Our background says Ruby and Finn's theatre chat show, and it is mostly white.
I would say your hair is like...
Mid-length?
Oh, it's down to
The fringe
the
is a
back
problem.
of your neck.
Should I just have it like this?
The fringe is currently covering Finn's
One eye.
eyes.
It's good. It's a look.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Oh,
So
out.
I've got some questions for you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm worried. No, I'm not prepared for these.
For our beginning segment before
Yeah.
we get into our book club segment of the show. So, Fynn,
Ruby.
I would like to know when you first got interested in theatre as a potential career.
So I've been into theatre pretty much my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
My first performance was when I was 4. I was the Scarecrow in Wizard of Oz.
Incredible.
And I remember, I think it was more when I was about 8 or 9 where I did a play. I was a raven in a world where everyone were birds. And I was like, I really like this and I want to keep on being in plays. And so it never kind of became something that wouldn't be an option for me. It was always sort of where I was going towards. How did it work out for you?
Oh,
The old
throwing it
switcheroo.
back. I always wanted to be an actor when I was little, and then I kind of lost hope a little bit going to university. I was like a drama captain in school and
Ooh.
drama scholarship to my school, and
There was a
very
drama
much,
scholarship? That's cool.
yeah, and I was very much like deep in drama, doing theatre studies at A level, and all that jazz. But I got to uni and I was like, maybe I can't do this. Maybe it's not substantial. So I went into a different degree, and then a week into that degree, I went, I can't do this, and went back to theatre.
Yay!
And now I have...
I know where this ends up, but I was generally like, what? You did a different degree?
I did. I came to Plymouth on a different degree, and now I have 2 degrees in theatre, and that's where I kind of learnt about disability theatre and inclusion theatre, and it kind of took off from there. And I think I had a moment in my 3rd year of when I was on the journey of my disability diagnosis, where I was like, no, this is really what I want to do. And then I started becoming like a disability activist and talking about it online and becoming like a disability educator. And then like my heart was just like, yeah, this is what you were made to do.
I think that's a good call by your heart.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, next question. What is the favouriteest role you have ever played?
Oh, favouriteest role.
Yes.
I think a lot of roles I do, I'm some kind of version of myself, which I feel like would be a cheaty answer. I was Charlie in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That's incredible.
And it felt very... I got compared a lot before that role to Freddie Highmore, the person who played Charlie in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
He's now in Bates Motel and lots of other things.
Nice.
I look surprisingly similar to him when I was a youth.
Incredible.
And I played that, and I also played another role he played, Pantaleimion. Have you heard of the Golden Compass?
Yes.
So the main character has her spirit animal
Yes.
demon thing.
Yes.
I was the puppet
Oh.
that was voiced by also Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Whoa.
So those roles
That's
were like
really cool.
two of my early ones where I really loved them and loved the whole sort of project of making it. I've I've realised that as you get sort of further along your career and you've got more of like control of what you're making, the process of doing it's a lot more stressful. But when you're more of an actor's role, that was an easier time for me.
Good.
Of just being told what to do. I like that.
Yeah.
What
That's nice.
What is your favourite role you've played?
I think in A level we were doing our theatre studies, and we were really kind of distressed by it. It was a really difficult process, and we just went, you know what? Let's just put on a play. We just put on a play for ourselves, and we just staged a full-on production
Oh, awesome.
in our school because we had a full-on theatre. So we just made a production of Be My Baby, and I got to play Dolores, and it was great. And we raised lots of money for charity, and it was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
That's it. So, welcome to segment 2. Forgetting how to count. So, if you were with us last week, we talked about Animate's new show, Amble with Animate, which you can still access. It's still on our website.
And you absolutely should.
It's animatetheatre.com, so go check that out. It's fully accessible. But last week I gave you a new project to have a look at, and we looked at 10 Minutes to Call Home by Live Theatre. It's a collection of 9 plays, and they're around 8 to 15 minutes by independent writers who submitted their writing to this competition, and then Live Theatre selected those 9 to stage socially distanced. And so we've been watching those over the past week, and I hope you guys have been watching them too, and if not, just enjoy this chat of us just talking about some theatre. So we're just going to kind of talk about it. Let us know in the comments your answers to our questions, and I really want to hear your guys' opinions on it as well, and which ones, if all of them, did you see? Because you watched all of them, didn't you?
I watched all of them.
I think I watched 5 out of 9. Because I thought it'd be interesting to like watch a few.
Yeah.
Because I said
Did
to
you
the
base
gang
your
last week, don't watch all of them.
Yeah, you
if
don't
you
have
can't.
to do all of them.
Yeah.
Did you base your choices off the titles, or you like scrolling through and going, "Oh, this one interests me"?
I based the choices off the actual descriptions on the website. So that's how I chose the ones that we would watch.
I think you did some quite good choices, because I think we've got similar. We chatted a little bit about which ones we liked, and you've seen the ones that I really, really enjoyed. I think it's really interesting to watch these to see the range of how, you know, the writers have done very different things, and there's different styles. There's one that's filmed outside rather than in the theatre space, and it's nice to see that. Not all of them were super successful for me, but maybe other people may have different experiences with the different shorts. And
So,
you're only with them for 10 minutes.
Which one was your favourite?
My favourite was, I think, the 4th of the 9. I'm just going to get the name up on my phone. It was an audio piece. Oh, it was called Sheltered.
Yeah, I was going to say it's Sheltered, yeah.
And it was clearly sort of inspired by our current times, because a lot of
Yes.
people are comparing
I
being in
thought that as
lockdown
well.
to the Blitz spirit.
Yes.
And so it's, what if there was some sort of war happening now, and there had to be lockdown and shelters, and there's also sort of a family element going on, someone's keeping a secret, and that comes out in interesting ways. It's a really nice little glimpse
I really
of
liked
a moment, and I also think that the fact it was done as an audio drama
Yes.
filmed, so you could see the person in the background doing the sound effects.
Oh my god, that was one of my favourite bits, just the guy like unzipping the first aid kit.
Yeah, and
I loved that.
really, like, he had a tin, and it would be 1 second it'd be a tin, or 1 second it'd be like he moved it in a certain way for it to be the door unlocking and opening.
Really cool.
It was really, really nice to have that. I if I was staging it, I would have put him centre stage.
Would you?
I was very interested in what he was doing, and I don't know how to get him to do more, because you don't want the script to constantly have sounds in it. But I was like, I want to see what he's going to do next. Let him clash more. Let him make more weird noises.
I did enjoy that. I also enjoyed how the character was called Ruby.
Did you? Yeah, was that good?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was a big pull for me. Genuinely, when choosing to watch that one, that was a huge pull to go for the one with my name in it. But I think that one, like, felt so natural in the writing, and it just had like a really nice fit to it.
I was having a little bit of discussion about how they decided to act it, because the voices, they're really meant to be like more of a vocal performance, was really, really strong. But sometimes they were kind of emoting and like adding the sort of character thing despite having a script in your hand and having a microphone. And the person I was watching it with said they thought it'd be more interesting if they just kept it really still and kind of had that Brechtian distancing, and you not have them do the emotional body language.
That's interesting.
Would you go in that direction?
I don't know. I did consider not actually watching and just experiencing. Yeah, as experiencing as an audio play. I really considered that because that's why it was made. It was made to be listened only auditory, and so I really wanted to kind of experience that. But I did find myself wanting to watch.
Yeah. Well, they filmed it, so clearly they're aware that we'll be watching it, and they like. I think it was written to be heard and written to be filmed as well. I think that was a decision. So if I was going to choose anyone, I would really recommend watching the third one, Sheltered, by Rebecca Glendon Laycock.
Yeah.
The name was written weirdly in the title and I got confused.
Good. What was your other favourite you were talking about?
I liked, let me just get the right, Off Peak.
Off Peak.
It's one that's centred around being in a train, which I don't know why, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, train play! I was just like, woo! I love trains. I think it's a moment where lots of people talk to each other. Like, I used to go on...
Love trains!
I love trains!
Who doesn't? Trains are actually...
When I was younger, I travelled quite a bit, and you'd get people talking to me because they're checking if I was okay. Yeah. And I always really liked...
Little Fynn. Hello.
Yeah. Hello! And then someone would be like, hey, do you want to see a magic trick? And I'd be like, yeah. Why else am I on a train? I want to see your magic trick.
But also don't talk to strangers on trains.
Talk to strangers on trains if they feel comfortable with it, and
make
sure everyone's...
I'm a little worried.
I liked it.
Someone just went, do you want a magic trick? And you went, okay!
I don't think... So I do know that someone showed me a magic trick on a train. I don't think they went straight to going, would you like to see a magic trick? I think they said, hey, are you alright? Are you by yourself? You know, they checked in on me.
How old were you?
I was quite young. I was like 8 to 14. It was when I was doing a lot of my training.
On your own at 8?
With my older brother.
Ah, okay. I was like, whoa!
I think it was around that age. That we were definitely like put on the train by a parent and taken off the train by a parent.
Well, yeah, I did.
For a long while.
I did.
It wasn't like off you go. Good luck on the tube. Get on your bike.
Pack your bags. Good. So train one. Why? Other than you really like trains.
I didn't look at any of the content of the play. I was just like, they're on a train and this is good. I thought it felt really naturalistic to me. The two characters.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
There were two characters who were talking and having a moment. There was, unfortunately, a third character.
I don't understand what the point of that character was.
I think the writer felt worried that it wasn't funny enough or that there wasn't something to keep you watching, and so they added
It was so random.
A trolley person. I'm not sure what the correct term is. The person who walks with sandwiches. They weren't really walking with sandwiches. They were just shouting out sandwich names behind the scene.
What I was trying to figure out is how close in their world were they, like in the world that they were creating. How close were they?
Because how it was staged was suggesting that she was just standing in the middle of the aisle. Yes. Which did like everyone walking around her. Like, so sorry, I know you're trying to sell sandwiches, but I've got to go to the toilet. Yeah. So I'm assuming that she was on one of those kiosks that's like towards the back of the train. Yeah. There's like a little kiosky bit. There's where you
that's what I thought. Yeah, like the foodie bit, the food bit.
They wouldn't have been able. Why you don't shout out names of sandwiches if you're on the kiosk bit? Was she doing that through the speakers? I don't know.
I don't know.
I would have maybe included
so when she started singing, I was not okay with that.
Yeah, I just shouted, no thank you. I didn't like that inclusion, but I still enjoyed the rest of the piece.
Yeah.
There was also one moment at the end which really threw me, and I don't know why it was included.
Was it the lighter?
It was the moment with the lighter and the magical cigarette, and I was like, why is that something that was added in?
The cigarette was magic?
Oh, that looked like a magical cigarette to me, and that was trying to imply something.
Oh, you don't mean a magical cigarette.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I can say other words to make my point clearer.
I thought you meant
like it could do magic.
The cigarette was magical. You just talked about magic.
Oh yeah,
I
the
thought
cigarette
the
was
cigarette
magical.
was magical. There were drugs implications. You can say that.
I really like language that avoids certain. I find it very funny. I find magical
Okay.
cigarette funny.
But we did just make a whole play about how me as an autistic
Yeah,
person
no,
struggles with
I know that.
metaphorical language.
I consider. I guess I considered that more slang than metaphorical language. And I'm sorry, a spliff.
Yes, so
That it appeared to me to be a spliff. Not that I have much knowledge in that area, and I was confused why that would be something.
yeah, it was a bit. I think there was a conversation, wasn't there?
Not around drugs. It wasn't something that. And also they had a really clear moment where the play would end, where one character made a phone call that was emotionally significant.
Yeah.
And then the lights started going down, and then we saw her immediately put the phone down, which didn't really work for me because she should have just kept on talking to the phone as if she was having that phone conversation. And then we got a completely different shot, which felt weird in this moment, this play, of a
Was she
character.
imaginary?
Does that suggest being imaginary if you have a spliff? I wanted to say magical cigarette.
I
again.
don't know.
I don't think she was imaginary.
Okay.
Because she wouldn't have kept on doing stuff somewhere else if she was imaginary. Everyone's imaginary.
I don't know. It could be a reading.
I realise I've been very critical of this play. That was one I enjoyed.
Yeah, it was one of my favourites. I feel the need, and you're not gonna like this, but I have to talk about the star sign one.
Yeah, no, I saw this coming. It is very much the star sign one.
We have differing opinions on this, which is really interesting. Do you know it was called Starfish? Haha! It's called Starfish.
It's a good name. I like the name.
I'm a good name.
Because they're talking. Yeah, that's why they were included in the play.
It is. Okay.
So
Starfish
doesn't have much more going on to me apart from discussing star
Shall
signs.
I tell you?
I
didn't realise that they were supposed to be really good friends. They genuinely, they felt like they had met recently. And then at the end, she was like, "You've stayed with us so many times. Like, my family really know you." And I didn't get that vibe from them. I didn't get like the close family friendship. That's not.
I would say that it was one of the performances where I didn't enjoy the work of the performers as much as some of the others. I didn't think they were, and that could have been a directing thing, but I didn't think they were giving the emotions the script could have been giving.
I'm going to be harsh, and I didn't like the direction throughout all of them.
Yeah, I think we could discuss that, like how it's. I think making theatre during lockdown.
Yeah,
and
they had to do the whole thing socially distanced.
There's so many constraints, and there's so many different things that. And it's really nice that they've made these 9 performances and that we got to watch them and have some theatre to watch.
For free as well.
Yeah.
That's
wild.
It's
really good. I do think that because of that they went very simplistic and some decisions were very odd. I'll get to another couple of decisions that felt very strange. But in this one, I like the simplisticness of it. I like the stage.
I like the stars.
The stars look really nice, and the way there was just a bit of grass under the bench.
Yeah, that was really nice. I did like that.
Really
it was my
nice.
favourite staging.
Yeah, it was very, very minimalist, but in a really nice way. I think you wanted to talk about the directing.
Look. No, my issue was because one of my special interests is astrology, right? So I know about astrology, and this character is supposed to also know about astrology. And then they started saying about how the other star sign has been added, which it's not true, it's incorrect. It's like a very surface level understanding of astrology. And if he was into it, he managed to name so many constellations. I couldn't find an Aries constellation, and I'm deeply into it. He was quite far into his constellations, yet he didn't know about the fact that the added star sign has been there for ages, and it was just they chose the 12th most impactful. And
yeah, and he also didn't talk about the rising and the moons that there, because
yes.
No, I'm letting your point. I'm making your point, and then I'm gonna say my point that's against it.
Okay, but I have another point.
Are you making the point I just said?
No.
Can I do my point that you?
No, because I'm gonna forget it.
Okay, say your point.
Okay, my other point.
Oh no!
So my other point was those characters were quite. They were quite submissive with each other, as in like. He was like, I love star signs. I'm really into star signs, and he says this to her. She goes, "Oh, I'm not really. Like, you can't put people into 12 categories." And he went, "Yeah." And I was like, "Fight your corner, son. Fight your corner."
I think okay. So the other point I was going to make, for you is that when she says that it's like you're one of 12 things, it's based on the month. There are things that based on the day that you're born that change it, and that wasn't a point he raised.
Time, years. Also, it's not based on month because they change halfway through a month. So.
Okay, well I'm not going to take that point. So kind of close enough, but. I think that was meant to be the point. I think that's what he was written to be that way. The character's relation, from what we're shown, the character's relationship to stars and star signs is more about watching stars with his dad.
I know it's the whole father relationship.
It's a father relationship, and I feel like it's a very, for him, because especially since he wants to go away and leave his house, maybe it's a very surface level thing that he's into in order to get his dad's attention and affection. Like, I used to go and watch every football match. Could I have correctly said what a Champions Cup is, and if that's a thing? No. I know very little about things that I did, in order to impress my dad. Which, I think it makes sense that he doesn't know that much. I think that was meant to be the point.
It angered me.
And I think he was quite dismissive of his side of the argument because I think there was some sort of romantic connection between those two characters.
Yeah, because she literally says I'm absolutely gorgeous, and he said we could agree on that.
I found that bit really funny because she also in that line said that she was like a couple of other things like really like stressy or like, bossy or something, and she's like, oh, we can agree on that.
Yeah, we can agree on that. And I was like,
okay, agree on some of that maybe. Be careful.
Okay, we've only got a few minutes left before we have to move on to segment 3, so do you want to discuss your last point?
When directing a piece, make sure that people are facing the audience and that you don't have things that are covering the thing. There was a bit where someone was sat on a table and there was a sofa in front of the table, and I was just like, why have they staged it this way? So there's some really odd decisions.
Good visual gag.
There was like someone threatening someone with an object, and they were using this arm, so they were covering their body because they were holding it this way when you really normally.
Yeah.
It feels like perhaps the directing process was quite rushed.
Yes.
And it was. A lot of the decisions I liked, and a lot of it I liked, but you could see the edges, which was kind of fun.
It did feel like a scratch performance.
Yeah, it felt quite early, but like it was really nice. I feel like I'm being really mean to these plays. And I would recommend definitely seeing Sheltered.
Oh, the reason that we are tearing them apart is because I think that like we should really inspect theatre, and I think it's really interesting to like really pick it apart. It would be boring if we just came on and we were just like, we liked them. But in an accessibility, like the whole thing was captioned and were captioned correctly, which I was really impressed with. And it did have diverse and inclusive performers. There's
one at the end that features sign language.
Yeah.
I didn't like that performance, but that wasn't the reason why. I liked the fact that there was sign language in it. But I think it was an awkward tackling of an important issue.
Yeah.
But, please watch some of these for yourself and let us know which ones you liked, which ones you think could have been improved upon. It'd be really nice to hear from you all.
Segment number 3!
Segment number 3. We're going to listen to segment number 3 with Ruby and me. No, I could have just rhymed it with Fynn and Ruby, because that works way better, and I also, put my name.
Okay, this is not going to go well. So, segment number 3.
Segment number 3.
Segment number 3. I'm going to look on my phone, because I have a Google Doc full of things that I'm going to suggest to you. Okay, so next week, this is what we are going to be discussing. Did I actually tell you what this was?
No, I asked you, and you just kept on doing your thing. I was like, nope, Fynn doesn't need to know. I was like, you're right. I'll just come into this completely unknown.
So, this week's recommendation and thing that we are going to discuss next week is only a little thing, because I made you watch lots of things last week. So it's only 4 minutes long.
Oh.
And this is on again, I will share the links, don't worry, on the Barbican Theatre, the big London Barbican, not our little Barbican.
Boo! I support our Barbican.
That's such a weird move. So this is really interesting, and this is a dance piece. It's a dance project called, is that what it's actually?
I don't know. You didn't tell me about it.
I know, but it's got
I'm
the
just gonna do
so
some
this is
dance.
what the article's called Meet the Shape Makers, a dance project with Michael Clark Company and Headway East London. So it says a brand new dance troupe took its bow on the Barbican stage as members of the dance group at brain injury charity Headway East London were invited to take part in a series of workshops led by Kate Coyne, Associate Director at Michelle Clark Company. So, basically it's a dance piece using performers who have brain injuries. And I think that's so cool.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting.
Yeah, because it's just like a new way of working, and we know that dance can be incredibly therapeutic and be used as tools for many things, just like music can with supporting injury. And so I think it's a really cool way to do that, but also to be able to like have that on stage. So it's been like really, the process was really casual and easing in. They were just like making movements and creating that dance piece together, and there are just some really lovely moments in it that I'm just really excited for you guys to see. Just gonna put in this as well. It says safety precautions were put into place, allowing the group to come together, dance, laugh, and express themselves at a time where things felt very dark. The theatre stage lit up in vibrant yellows, oranges, and blues to bring additional warmth and communal joy. And then lots of people have kind of expressed their joy in being a part of that.
It must have been so lovely for them to be a part of that group and have that sort of sense of community.
Yeah. And now just a little bit about Headway East London. So Headway East London is a charity supporting people affected by brain injury. Working across 13 London boroughs, they offer specialist support and services for over 200 survivors, family, friends, and carers. Headway East London have a 3-year partnership with the Barbican as their community collaborator and have been involved in many projects and events as part of the Barbican Creative Learning Programme. So then they have the credits of the dancers, and then they have some more information about their community engagement and their community collaboration project. So I will share that link to go and have a watch of that dance piece, because I think that would just be... There is a Headway Centre in Plymouth. Ah, cool. Thank you, Mike. That's really interesting. So that's a nice link as well.
We need to get them to do a dance piece.
They should do a dance piece in our Barbican, because I think it's such a cool idea.
I feel like our Barbican did do some sort of dancing
Is
recently.
our Barbican the Barbican?
Our Barbican, to me, is the Barbican.
No, but
Does our Barbican...
Is there a link?
I think Barbican's
I think they're two separate.
I think
yeah.
Barbican's a word that makes
they-
sense for two places to have the name of.
Yes.
But I will have to research that before I can say anything, truthfully.
So that is what we are recommending this week to go and have a look at, and that's what we are going to be discussing next week. So I'm really excited for that. And then obviously again next week we are going to have some more fun things to kind of share with you. We really want to, and just to point note, we really want to also talk about some theatre that is coming back in person, but at the moment there's just not much going on. So if you know of anything, please let us know so that we can share it, and then we can share it with you guys, and let us know about anything that you want us to talk about. Obviously we've got our projects that we'd like to share with you, but if there's something that you would like to share with us as well, send it to us, let us know, because we would be really interested in that. So hopefully throughout these next few weeks we can start to share places you can go to experience theatre in real life, because that would be amazing. I'm hoping some outdoor performances maybe coming back up. But at the moment, we've got our online resources that you can have a look at. Thank you for joining us this week, guys.
Thank you so much for being here, and have a great week.